That
That
right?
one.
That one. That one.
That one over there. That one.
I'm going to press that button and hope it works. And it did. Good. We made
Good,
it.
that one. Lovely. We just settle back and relax now for a decent podcast of good stuff and hijinks and shenanigans. And good morning, everybody. This here is Lad Teammaker on behalf of the Game On Pledge podcast and content creators for the podcast. And joining me, as always, up there, it is the James Atkinson.
Good morning, everybody, because it is morning here. It's always morning here. Remember when we used to do this at night?
Yep. I remember when you used to do it about 7:30 at night, your time, 12:30, fine. In the darkened room of me and my face just right up there. So, hi. In the early days.
The wee early days. It would be interesting to go back and do a show like on a Saturday night, just as like a one-off, to do like a late night show.
Mm.
Just to see, but no, it's for everybody's sleep schedules. This is obviously better.
Oh yeah, and speaking of, we should have our good and lovely co-host Chris with us today at some point.
Yes.
So expect a drop in from him.
Coffee is important.
We also have bits of content dump, and it's not a huge hefty content dump. I think that'll be potentially next week. You know, after you've had your Easter eggs. And because you're staying at home, so you can eat what you want.
Wouldn't it be before you had your Easter eggs?
Well, no, my Easter eggs tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And speaking of the devil, Chris is here.
Wait, devil? Ripping Taylor.
Well, it is Easter weekend, so, you know, devil's about, I guess, somewhere. After, speaking with Jesus. Because how I said on a stream this week that something that will piss off Christians is the fact that, with Easter moving around each year, when the fuck are we going to get Jesus' death certificate so we know exactly when he died?
Right.
It's the same with like Abraham, like President's Day for us. Like that's not their birthday.
Yeah, like the Queen has two birthdays: her coronation and her actual birthday. But her coronation doesn't move; it's still in June.
Is it a bank holiday?
No.
I mean, no. Why wouldn't it be?
You would think she would have put her foot down and went, "Damn it! I want my birthday to be a national holiday."
I don't know, her coronation day, like that to me, like that.
Doors.
That should be a bank holiday because, I mean, to be honest, when she was coronated, don't you think like everybody like was not working that day?
Yeah, you would definitely think so. Apart from obviously all the essential people, if they needed you. So yeah, so we have a content dump. We have a small one. We have what we've been playing. Some shout outs because next week as well is the big weekend for TGWPIS.
Shout outs and plugs.
Oh yes, shout outs and the plugs. So
it's the thing now. We added to it so there can just be more, so it's just not the three of us staring here looking at each other like, anybody got anything to say? And we're all just like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's time for the content dump. Time to just undo our belts and just sit there and just let go. And the first one, I think that we should say, is that Twitch decided to clarify their nudity in attire update, which also, in a way, if you read it, gives me a little bit of a potential kick, because there's another part in there that says about no lewd jokes, no lewd discussion sort of things.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
That's like 2/3 of Twitch gone right there.
Yep. I was like, wait, what? But cleavage is allowed. Which is good.
Okay, so that's we now clearly see the favoritism showing.
Okay, good. I've wanted to wear my low-cut V-neck shirts for a while now.
Precisely, I'm really excited for those.
I've got some great silk Fabio shirts.
Because it says, for breasts, just like for those who are present as women, we ask that you cover your nipples. What Twitch defines as exposed underbust is not permitted either, though cleavage is unrestricted as long as these coverage requirements are met.
So, underbust and nipples. So,
Yeah, underbust and nipples.
Here's a question. If you have a camera that is tastefully above a certain line and there are pasties involved, it would be okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So with clever camera work, we could make this work.
Yep, we could go fully shirtless now.
Or guys, even better. I figured it out. I figured it out. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Green screen paint. Green screen body paint.
Blur out only that.
Green screen body paint.
Does that mean painted on nipples is still just as bad?
No, I'm just saying certain areas of the body painted so that it's just like it looks like a floating head. But we all know it's but to quote Patrick Stewart from my favorite episode, but by then I've seen everything. I've seen it all.
It was too late.
So what other clothing guidelines can I'm guessing like no those shirts and stuff with like hate speech or obscene.
Yeah, that'll be.
No.
See, that stuff is common sense. I mean, some people are like, well, what about games and that? It's like, well, come on. They're common sense. They're not. The games that were still banned compared to not banned, like Assassin's Creed, where you can climb up a statue's dick. You know, that's not banned because climbing up that statue is only a tiny piece of the game.
It's not Honey Pop.
Exactly.
we're literally everything about that game is one thing. Or Sexy Business
They do have
Simulator.
a censored version, by the way.
They do. They absolutely do.
They do. I'm proud of them. It's interesting.
Yeah,
That they
I mean,
continue that statement. It's interesting that they made that an option.
I think most of these games have a censored version. Like you can, so it's like you can play this, and it's like, yeah. I mean, because if we think about it, and I've been discussing this with Kim because she's been playing a lot of Hitomi games recently, like a lot of Hitomi games, like a lot. Like there's 3 of them on the Switch right now, and she owns like 4 on Steam. That's a lot of Hitomi games. But
yeah.
Hey.
Okay. Well, here's the question.
She's using the Switch.
Who does she gun after? Like, what's her type?
I don't know. Most of it is just like I got caught in the. I got caught. She's like, oh yeah, one of them threw me into a cage and then I escaped. I was like, okay. Like, context. I'm like, you want to know what? Better that I don't know. just don't. She's like, why don't you want to know these things? I'm like, because you know what's going to end up happening. She's like, what? I'm like, I'm going to secret record all of these. We're going to put them on YouTube with me and Chris dubbing over all of their voices, and it's going to get really weird and awkward for you, not for us. We're going to find this hilarious.
Oh yeah.
She's like, that's why I'm not going to record any of these. I said, yeah, you know too well because.
That's why you're not going to record
it. Goes back to Steam, immediately re-downloads Dream Daddy. It's time.
What was that? I've won it recently.
Bub Gub Gub Boogles returns.
The Adventures of Gub Gub Boogles.
Who is the descendant of the freaking guitar boyfriend?
Gub Gub Boogles in quarantine.
The deep Tigwhippies lore.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, but I'm sitting there going like, great, now the fact that you're playing all these Hitomi games means I can download Sexy Businessman Simulator and not feel bad.
Precisely.
Which has a censored option, but also like makes me really want to play it on stream. Just because I'm like Victorian Businessman Simulator with like ultimate mustaches and stuff. I'm like, this is a game that could be right up my alley. At the same time, do I feel bad about owning this because everybody on my Steam list will be able to see that I own this game?
Hell, I own, what was it, the porno movie tycoon? There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it apart from the suggestions that you yourself do. So the game itself is not visually titillating, but it's still banned.
It's like Football Manager in a sense, except
It is.
a porn studio.
Yeah, game dev as well. Game dev simulator, same thing.
Yeah, there's no game like involved. You're not actually like seeing gameplay. You're watching people make games.
Exactly. You just go into a movie studio and making stuff that way.
Oh,
It just makes no sense on the games.
I almost broke Twitch's policy.
Yeah.
No lewd jokes.
Yeah, you think I've changed that?
Can't fucking believe.
No, I'm gonna
lewd jokes, really, guys? Like
I'm gonna post it in admin chat so you guys will know what it is.
I looked at it and just went, "Yep, well, I'm still continuing."
There it is. That's in the admin chat. That was the joke.
Yeah, that may be a little bit
I
too
think
much.
I think that's too soon.
Yeah, too soon. However, do you know what's not too soon? Sony unveiled their new controller, the DualSense game controller, which looks nice. I have to say, it does look nice.
It looks like they've taken some Xbox controller aesthetic.
Yep.
Doesn't it?
That was my reaction was, hey, look, an Xbox controller.
They got the buttons all wrong.
Yeah, sticks too far down.
Position wrong, and that's it.
Also, like
I honestly,
like it.
I prefer the spacing of the Xbox controller over the PlayStation controller.
kind of the asymmetrical joysticks.
Yeah, that's more comfortable for me.
I've gotten used to it. Because we've streamed both sets. It kind of you get used to it after a while. It just becomes almost second nature, and you don't notice it.
That was one thing that threw me off in the first speed run of Bloodborne was the positioning of the controller, because I just wasn't used to it.
Yeah, as you got through it though, you sort of just sunk in, didn't it? Just like, oh, okay, let's do this, and then just carry.
Oh yeah, I mean, a controller is a controller, so long as it's not drastically different.
As long as it's not
Like
the N64 controller.
Switch.
N64.
Your three-handed controller. The one that when aliens discover, they're going to be very confused as to what happened to our race.
Yeah, where's your third hand gone?
It's called it's like the couples controller, where like it's like you're playing the game, and then your little it's the family controller, because you're playing the game, and the little brother's helping you out with like the third of like the other's third thing.
Yeah, the one that doesn't have any controls on it.
Yeah, it's just like you're playing James Bond, and everything's done with like the right in the middle, and the left doesn't have anything. So you let him press all the buttons on the left because it means absolutely nothing to you.
That's fair. But yeah, I mean, looking at it aesthetically, it's just that extra step, isn't it? It's like the slight evolution of the DualShocks. It's, they've got the triggers that are, depending how hard that you press on them, will depend how fast you accelerate, how much you fire, which again is the evolution. To me, it looks nice. I like it.
The evolution that the Xbox 360 pioneered years ago.
Yeah.
At least not the Xbox controller, the thing that was basically a flail. Wait,
wait, hold on. Are you talking about the Duke? Because the Duke is a monster.
The Duke. I'm talking about the Duke.
Talking about the Duke.
Which you can get for the Xbox One.
Which I love that they remade the fucking Duke.
You needed to be a basketball player's hands to like use the Duke.
It was literally made for the Duke.
Just like,
hail to the king, baby.
It's like don't. You just hear your friend, your girlfriend saying, "Don't worry, it happens to the best of us." Not everybody can wrap your hands around the Duke. It's not the size. It's how you use the controller that matters.
Oh yeah, by the way,
I wanted to play Halo,
send...
but my controller was too big.
My
hands are
Oh god, no! I just think of that meme that from a couple weeks ago, or months ago. It shows the guy kind of crying, and it has Joe Swanson in the background. It's just me trying to play Halo, and Joe Swanson's the Duke.
By the way, do you know who I blame for that controller being the Duke's size being fucking huge?
Who?
Carol Baskin.
Son of a bitch.
Do you know who I blame for that controller being that size? them probably, like, them designing it in metric and building it in imperial. That's probably the issue.
For real. For real.
They checked the measurements and thought they were bigger than they actually are.
Typical Americans.
So wait, this is 12 inches. What?
Everything I mean, also it's just like Microsoft is like, we got to go big to start with. Big bot controller. I mean, the Xbox original was
big everything.
Was fucking huge.
The Xbox, the X big.
It's big. It's thick. Dummy thick Xbox. And we can make those jokes because we're talking about a console, everybody.
It's not lewd. It's literally
it's not lewd. It is facts.
And it's square.
Hashtag facts.
Are we going wholesome now?
Hashtag thick facts.
We weren't wholesome already.
The new segment of TGWPIS.
Hashtag thick facts. You know what's dummy thick? Doom Guy's forearms.
For real? Holy shit.
Just everything.
They're like an average man's thigh.
I know. I mean, but when you're wielding that sword, you need it.
Oh, yeah, you need that strength. You do need that strength. So I think that we can sort of segue into what we've been playing with this one.
I thought you wanted to go wholesome.
Wholesome segue in.
Oh, wholesome segue in. What we've been playing. All right.
Yeah,
that's fine.
A Doom segue, more specifically.
A Doom segue. We can segue anything into Doom in this podcast.
Truth. Oh yeah.
I've been playing Doom. I take it you've been playing Doom, Chris.
Yep.
And you've played a bit more Doom, haven't you, James?
Yes.
How far in are we?
This isn't the Doom cast yet, though.
Okay.
No.
I'll talk about the multiplayer.
I can tell you where I am. I've arrived at the facility after riding the train.
The facility.
Yeah,
that's where I am.
The second priest's gift to you. Yeah.
I'm doing that part.
I'm on mission 5 then, where you get the new weapon.
I know all the weapons. You can say what they are.
The sort of like the crossbow thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Arbalist?
Yeah.
Yeah, the railgun.
Yeah. The railgun.
The ballista is what they call it.
Ballista, arbalist, potato. Ballistas are just paired up arbalists.
So how far are you in
medieval people?
Truth. Ballistas are just really big crossbows.
Yeah, ye oldie people.
All you history majors. At me. It is lardteamaker at TGWPIS.com.
Yes, sir.
That's the fastest way to at me. That's fair.
It really is, because Will forward it to me, because I probably won't check it.
I don't have a Twitter anymore, so Will let me know when someone tweets at me.
Yep.
So if you want to at me, at lardteamaker.
At lardteamaker on Twitter.
Pretty care of.
Dear Sir or Madam, I would like to...
Or at Tom Merritt, that works too.
At Tom
He'll probably
Merritt.
get in contact with me. Mostly confused.
Yeah, why did I receive this, mate?
You can find me at Reverse Pro Gamer. Once again, though I think Dougie would find it slightly amusing the first couple times.
Yeah, very true.
And then it would just get old.
Hey, Will, why is everyone adding me as James? Isn't he on your team?
Just go with it. It's fine. Don't worry. It's for a bit. What bit? I don't know. But James tends to play the long con.
He hasn't told us the bet yet, so we can't see if we're winning.
Don't worry. There's an ending to this. I don't know what it is yet. I'll let you know when it's there. But we're getting there. So.
By the way, we need to have a TGWPIS versus Dougie race, and I'll tell you guys why later, offline, so that everyone else could, be hung in suspense for the joke. But it's gonna be good.
We'll have to let Dougie in on this one then.
Oh no, we'll surprise him on it, but we got to challenge him to a race.
Fair enough. I'm intrigued on this one. I'm going to wait for this one. So, how far are you in Eternal, Chris?
Done.
Oh,
I finished it like the next day.
Fair enough. A slow bastard.
I called it. Called it.
Mm-hmm.
Called it.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it as much as 2016?
I did not enjoy it as much as 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy it. 2016 was it was the new reiteration of the classic feel. So it had a bit more of a special spot because it was gunning for that nostalgia feel a little bit harder. But this one is still it's close. It's not quite there yet. But it was a little more arcadey. There was a lot of prose. A lot of narration. And a lot of interesting lore. Explored. So I'll be playing it again at some point to go through and figure out more of it. But I've enjoyed it. It's good. The final boss fight is an interesting challenge. It's a very good way to create first-person shooter boss fights. I'll have to give this to id very, very keenly. First-person shooter boss fights are really difficult to manage just because it's a lot of just strafe and shoot, which is the core gameplay loop of a first-person shooter. Let me knock things over. But yeah. Is good.
What difficulty did you play it on? Because I'm on
Ultraviolence.
Hurt Me Plenty. Oh, so you're because I'm on Hurt Me Plenty, and that's still tough.
I was really tempted to go Nightmare, but I was like, I will not make it through in time to like have a good read on this. But Ultraviolence, it is fun. I've had to use the armor. I want to say once, maybe twice. I think I did it twice, once to figure out what it actually was. Because it was just saying, like, do a thing, but it didn't give me any info on it until after I used it. Which is, I think that one is a little oversight on their part, but that's okay.
See, I had to use it for the boss. For the first boss. It was after, like, about my fourth or fifth attempt that I went, you know what, I'm going to try this. And it changed it completely. But then, after the boss is done, goes away. You carry on as you were, which I like.
It's literally just for the boss fight.
I do like that. Where it's almost like do you need help with this? But it's not a case of, do you want to lower the difficulty so you carry on the rest of the game that way? And I do like that. I also noticed so far as well, since I've actually slowed down during the fights, I'm actually slightly better. And I go through them easier. Because I tried to go too fast. And it's a case of...
I had the opposite problem. I was slowing down and then the fights needed more speed. And I was like, I can't go. I need to go faster. I gotta go faster.
Because if I slow down, I'm aiming better. Too fast, I miss the targets. It's like, oh shit, I don't want to do that.
I'll give a tip for those who are playing on Ultraviolence. It is more so a matter of survival some fights are depending on the arena you're dealing with. So if it's a more vertical and wider arena with less open space in the center, move fast, shoot less. If it is a large open space, shoot more. So that is the trick that I figured out about it. Because the more stuff in between, the more likely you are to miss your shots. But the less stuff, the less likely you are to miss your shots. And I found myself constantly running out of ammo. I capped ammo as quickly as I could, and I was still just running out of ammo.
Yeah, well, that's why you're hoping for a small enemy to turn up, so you can just give you bloody chainsaw on them to get your ammo back.
Yeah.
So maybe a little
Luckily,
adjustment
they
there.
constantly spawn small enemies, so
Yeah.
there is always something to chainsaw. Health
Yeah.
is a massive resource for ultraviolence. You find yourself at like 30% all the fucking time. I'm always hearing little death sirens going off.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit, I gotta get health. And so you try to do as many melee kills as you can.
Yep.
We get the same here with that one. But yeah, we'll discuss this further when we get to the Doomcast.
Yep. But what I can talk about is the multiplayer, which is totally separate from the single player.
Yeah.
The multiplayer is broken up into two halves. It's asymmetrical gameplay. You play as either the Doomslayer or you play as two demons. You and one other person, I should say. So it's a 1v2.
Right.
And it's really interesting. The Doomslayer needs to kill the two demons. The two demons need to kill the Doomslayer. And there are ambient demons that spawn around on top of being able to summon other demons. So each demon option, and I forget all of the options, but you can choose from like the Pain Elemental, the not the Caco demon, the Mancubus, the Revenant, the Axe Boy, the Archvile, and I think that's it. I know I'm missing something, but there's a couple more that I'm sure that I'm missing right now because I'm not looking at the screen. But they each kind of have their own kit. They each have their own 2 to 3 abilities, their own 2 demons to summon, and then they have 2 activatables that adjust themselves and adjust the Doomslayer. So, like, one of them is you block the Doomslayer from being able to pick up items,
Right.
which is huge. It's like 5 seconds of that, but still, that is a long time in Doom multiplayer. Each match has, I believe, a 2.5 minute timer, and it's broken up into 3 rounds. So if you lose 2 rounds, either way, you can still keep up. You upgrade from... you get your kit. You also get upgrades in between rounds.
Right. Can you also then sort of go from, let's say, the small grunt demons upwards in the match, or is it just you have to select one at the beginning to go through, and
You
that's
select-
who you...
Yeah, you select one in the beginning, and that's it. The match, again, like the longest match I was in was about 10 minutes.
Wow.
And it came out to a draw. We ran the timer every single time. I was playing an Archvile, so I had the capacity to teleport around, and I would just teleport away from the Doomslayer and let my buddy respawn. So the demons have the option to respawn. They have a 15-second death timer.
Right.
So you have to kill them within 15 seconds of each other. Otherwise, it comes back at like half health. So I just played the long con of confusing the Doomslayer, putting up firewalls, having him go around, and then teleporting away.
Which sounds like they have to adjust that. If it's just still draw.
Oh no, it wasn't bad. It was just like it's not imbalanced.
Right.
It is a little bit easier on the Doomslayer. I'll say that. It is a little bit easier on the Doomslayer. But like it really boils down to player skill and knowledge of the game. I don't think it's too imbalanced. There may be some level of imbalance, but it's still fun. I think the weakest power right now is the buff to your. If you go like fully buffing your minions and you just spawn your minions, because the minion spawn is like you can spawn each one without cooldown from each other. And then it's like a 3-second cooldown for your lesser minion and like a 5-second cooldown for your greater minion. And then I think you can have 3 of them before the timer goes long. And then it's like a 20-second timer for each.
Cool.
Oh yeah,
So,
it's really interesting.
Because I know that Geo and Letitia will play it. And I said, I'll play it. I just want to get the single player out of the way first.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to doing that. Hello, Kimmy. Good morning. I hope you're well.
Morning.
So what else have you been playing, dude?
I want something competitive.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I haven't really been playing much. I've been playing League because it's a good time waster, and basing, everything off of quarantine right now, it's just burning time.
Yeah.
So like, I've just been grinding. I'm looking for a new MMO to try and find like a roleplay community with. No intention to go back to Final Fantasy 14.
Nope.
It's the mechanics of it are also just like not that interesting. The reason why I joined up the last time was because I wanted to do the raids, because I liked raiding, but like the raids are super easy. All it is just like memorize, figure out your choreography, and after that you can do the whole thing. The last stack of raids I did, I was the only one on my team who survived all the way to the end. I survived to enrage on the final boss of the set, and it was just like, okay, I'm good. I have this fight memorized. I'm done. I know I can clear it. It's just a matter of matching the numbers and everyone else doing their job. Which, based on other people's, lives in week, understandable that like not every time you're gonna be able to land that performance. You're gonna slip up. We are human. You're gonna press the wrong key at the wrong time. You're gonna try and juice out a little more damage here and there, and it may not turn out all right. But hey, it happens.
Yeah.
I ad hopped so many fucking stupid things, but like the fact that the way Final Fantasy healing works is that you have 2 healers, and usually if you're stable on your stats, if you're stable on your numbers, 1 healer is enough, typically. Which is what I've seen. I've seen a lot of people running damage on 1 healer, and then like I would say I was our core healer. I would say I focused on damage way less than our other healer. But like that opens up them to be able to push for faster clears. So there's all sorts of little mechanics in it, but I want Wildstar. That's what I want. I want Wildstar.
It doesn't exist anymore, sadly.
Right? I want Wildstar. Bring it back.
Yeah, open it back up, damn you.
Do you know what somebody created and they're slowly letting them do? Remember the Warhammer MMO?
Very, very vaguely.
PvP, PvE focused, castle sieges, that kind of stuff, based all on the Warhammer universe. They opened up a bunch of private servers for people to play on for free, and like they're actually advancing the game and adding new areas and stuff to it. And it's free to play.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that. There were a couple. So that was the one that was EA hosted, right?
Relic was the one who did the MMO originally. Now it's out, so maybe that's something to look into.
Maybe. I don't know. There's a handful that are coming out. I poked my head into Black Desert. It's a lot of grind. I don't want to grind.
That's the thing. You want it to move fairly fast, don't you? Rather than just doing the same thing constantly in the same little area.
Well, no, it's an MMO, so you're gonna do that. Let's just be real.
But the problem is
How will
that
they disguise it. Black Desert doesn't.
MMO. Black Desert does not disguise it at all. They also use some like what is it? Fucking mobile game mechanics, like
because it's also
collection energy.
Because you could play it on your freaking phone.
Yeah, I don't like that. I love the character creator, which I'm intending to use the character creator for my D&D characters again.
I mean,
which is the core reason why I re-downloaded it.
I remember before it came out, like, they actually had just the character creator before the game came out, where you could just build characters in the game. I'm like, this is the best part of this game.
It really is.
Looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like, Black Desert,
It's
probably
beautiful.
One of the best looking MMOs out there.
Absolutely. I would argue that it is the best character creator on the market at the moment.
I would agree. If we're talking MMO character creators, like, it's
very specifically,
it's the best, hands down. See, it's funny in this time of like wanting to play an MMO, because I'm right there with you, Chris. Like, I'm at that point where I'm like, what can I play?
Yeah,
I have not had any urge to go to WoW, like none.
Yeah, that's really good because WoW garbage.
So like,
everyone's just like, but WoW Classic, it's so good. No, it's not. You're just nostalgia riffing.
No, it's not. I played WoW Classic. It was not fun. I hated it. Burning Crusade made it so much better. WoW Classic sucked. I remember
that was the other argument. Everyone was just like, we're just gonna wait out for Burning Crusade, and it's like, and you're still just nostalgia riffing.
Yeah,
that's all that is. That is the only reason why they're making money off of it, is because it's nostalgia riffing.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. If I'm going to go back and play WoW, I'm going to play current WoW because there's so many quality of life changes in current WoW. It still sucks, but there's a reason why there's still so many people playing that game. All right? Like, we can say current WoW sucks. It doesn't mean that they don't have a good core gameplay loop. By the way, when I did get the urge to play WoW, you know what I played instead?
What? Football Manager?
No, different game. Different itch to be scratched. No, I played Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Cause
that would do it.
It was just like it's a close enough allegory to it. And then it was like, but also like I didn't have to pay any money for it. It was done. It was like, okay, good, I'm good. There's another reason why I should go back and play WoW, though. Will, do you know the reason why?
No.
It involves a YouTube video of ours.
Is it to try and get another amount of views at it?
Road to
120.
Road to 120. A YouTube video that I did when I was playing WoW, when I started a new character and just started leveling him, has 87 views. In like 5 months, 6 months.
Yeah,
but
that's not bad.
No, I can't go back to WoW. I'm done with it. I'm with you, Chris. Like, I can't. Like, that's over and done with. I'm so far out of the community at this point. I'm so far out of touch with the game that I just don't wanna. I just really don't.
I know. Like, I want something new. The Amazon MMO is looking interesting. It's supposed to have like Dark Souls style fucking, what's it called?
Mechanics? Combat?
Like not top-down action RPG, but third-person action RPG. Mechanics.
Yeah, kind of over the shoulder.
Yeah. Which that's one reason why I liked Terra in its early stages, is because it was a different gameplay style than tab targeting. I'm not a big fan of tab targeting. The big reason why I played Final Fantasy was because a lot of people I knew played Final Fantasy, and the roleplay community existed. It was out in the open and visible. Not the same with a lot of other communities. So it's like, I want WildStar back.
I've always dabbled with, and I've always wanted to play more of the Old Republic. If mainly because
I haven't stepped into that.
if mainly because, follow me here, just because of the physical achievement that they made with that game, they made a fully voice acted MMO,
which is hard as hell.
Like they said over two in its original release and state, over 2,000 hours of voice acting audio recorded.
Bloody hell!
Like, it's insane. And every character class has a main story that you follow. You can choose to be dark or light side, and then you have romancing options. You can romance some of your followers that you get. You can also have them be now like you can have your NPC follower be an attacker, defender, or healer based on what your thing is. So like, they made it so you could play the game kind of solo but also play with friends. And I've always wanted to do that because to me it's like, this is great. It's like BioWare made an achievement with this game. But like, I get into it and I start playing it, and then it's just like, it is tab targeting. The other thing too is that because I had a premium membership back in the day, I have all like the level up boosts. It's like you go through like the starting areas and like gonna go through there, but it's like it lags a little bit. They also did something smart in the most recent update, and I haven't gone back to it yet. Is that they've made it so that you can get to the end game content. So like get to like level 100 to 120 content, the end games, the new expansion stuff, just by doing the main story quest. If you do no side quests whatsoever, just follow what your main character class story is, that will be enough to progress you at a leveling pace.
That's good. That's kind of where it should be. Most MMOs don't do that.
Yeah. The problem
not
is
even Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy still had to do, like, you have to grind out a few dungeons here and there.
Oh my god, I know.
Mostly towards the very, very end.
It seemed like
it was just like
it's base game, and at the very, very end, once you hit the expansions, like, they found the level curve, like they got it.
Yeah,
but
they ramp you. You can main story quest through the older content, and then you get all the way up to the final expansion, and that's it. I don't like their model per se. I don't like their business model either. I mean, like, it is sustainable. Don't get me wrong. But like, I don't really like having to pay $30 every like 6 months. 30 extra bucks every 6 months.
No, I hear you.
I understand, like, I'm not going to find the quality out of a totally free to play game. Like, at the very least, I'm going to be paying an actual volume of money somewhere, whether it's going to be in the form of expansion packs or a subscription fee or whatever. But
battle pass or whatever.
Yeah. Premium mode. I don't care. I have the income to be able to do that. It's just that I don't have the MMO that I want.
Yeah, just looking through Steam's MMOs right now.
Right? Like, it's really hard because like the big names are going to be Elder Scrolls Online.
Yep.
Which I have been thinking about looking at. I haven't dabbled too much in it. I poked it way early, but I haven't gone back to it. So that might be an option. But I don't know.
You know what's one I've thought about going back to?
Which one?
Not Dungeons and Dragons Online, but Neverwinter.
Maybe. I actually haven't played that one. Period. Full stop. I think I may have actually played it like a little bit, but I should actually take a look at it.
It just seemed once again, it seems like a cool concept kind of a thing, and like people can make their own dungeons and that kind of stuff. It felt very cool, and I thought like, hey, and it's also free to play.
Yeah.
So but once again, it's like you got to level up through the stuff. You got to do that grind to get to like the content that everybody's talking about.
Yeah, see, I'm okay with doing like some level of grinding for it. I'm okay with that. Especially right now when at the moment all I have is time.
Let's see here. Neverwinter is recently very positive. And they had like a Infernal Descent So like they're going kind of off of like the fact that like they released the Infernal Descent in books, and now like they kind of brought that into Neverwinter. So yeah, maybe something to look into in the future. And they're also adding character classes stuff all the time. So if you guys know of a good MMO, please let us know, because God forbid, if anything knows my proclivities, you know what I'm probably gonna end up playing is Eve.
Yeah.
Just like James went from Football Manager to Eve. Makes sense. James, what do you do? Do you even play the game? No, I just manage Excel spreadsheets.
The problem with Eve is the macro culture is very, like, it's very consolidated. The major guilds and clans and whatever they call them, the major organizations, are very, very like they make an oligopoly. I mean, you don't dabble with us, we're not going to dabble with you, and we're 80% of the population.
If we want to talk about elitist gaming,
Eve, right?
Because the problem is that like I see all these Eve videos of like the massive ship battles and stuff, and it's like, this looks really fucking cool, and then you realize
the problem is that's like maybe 4% of the gameplay.
It is 4% of the gameplay.
Just the battles.
And then they're also saying like in this battle, like over $200,000 in real game money, or like in out of game money, was just lost.
Yeah,
and I'm sitting there going like, oh my fucking god, I couldn't do it. Also,
right?
The controls.
The controls are very dated.
Like the fact that it's like click and move, like you don't have direct control of your starship. Like that kills it for me. Like if I could grab a fucking joypad and control my ship, I would be an Eve player, and I would have been an Eve player for a long time. But I can't. So fuck them.
It says how you've been trying to look at this week.
It's like deep into our psyche.
What we're playing into what we really want to play, actually.
Me and Chris having a just kind of a talk it out moment where we need to like get this off our chest.
It's been lingering for a hot minute. Hot minute.
Chris, remember, there's always the dual stream that we can go back to. We can get Borderlands 3 downloaded, and we can just do Borderlands like we used to. Maybe Comrade Doggo will show back up.
We gotta do Borderlands 2, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go back to...
I don't have Borderlands 3. I don't intend to get Borderlands 3.
It's on Steam.
I don't care that much. It is. I don't want to pay for it. And I don't want you to pay for it.
No. If I'm going to buy you a game, it's probably going to be Football Manager.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll accept that.
Because that game is crack. But we know that.
Because I can sympathize with you wanting something, because again, off stream, I've been we've got all this time, but I've been sitting here going, do I want to play anything? And it's kind of, I've got Ori on the go waiting for me to continue it. I just haven't gone back to it. So, the stuff I've been playing offline has just been, Bejeweled, because I got Bejeweled free. So just been sat here going through the main stuff of that, got that mostly done. I tried a game that is on the list of crap games for Crohn's for next weekend, Omega Rally Championship. I tried that, booted that up, and I looked at it and went, okay, the control system is different. You basically, the way for your car to go is you press the accelerator, but you push the stick in the direction you want the car to go, which can throw you off if you're not steering it, as normal racing games. So, there's that. I played some of Dirt Rally 2, which last night on stream for Crashers R Us League, I somehow made my car survive. It was falling apart. It's like a clown car at the time I finished with it. So by the end of the stages, if I got out, it'd probably just fall apart completely.
With how much left.
Yeah. Jimmy Broadbent would sit there afterwards and go, completely smash the time, just sit there and go, easy game. And then it's just really the other stuff I've played on, on stream, like which we've talked about, Word Wheel, which more puzzly stuff, Assassin's Creed, and snooker, and that's me. So, what about you, James? What have you done? What have you played?
Let's check off the list, shall we?
Yep.
I've recorded up to episode 62 of Football Manager.
Right.
Check that off the list. We're in the championship, one league away from the Premier League. Our best goal scorer is still Pepe, and I've now developed, apparently, because I don't do this live on stream, I do this with myself. Every single time he scores, for whatever reason, the animation, he goes up and he does this, like waving to the fans. So I have now dubbed that his trademark goal scoring celebration. Ronaldo has the "I'm here," Bale has the "I heart you," Pepe has the Pepe hands.
Yeah.
So, and that's not even his name. His name is Eduardo Santana Calvisto. Yet he calls himself Pepe in the game. Way to go, Football Manager. Way to go. I have a guy he's Brazilian too. His name is Luis. And he's George Carlin. That's his name. And I'm but it's Luis with the tilde over it. I'm what the fuck? Don't you ever, I mean, this is obviously the game who gave us Pavel Horny. So we can't dial it down. But Football Manager on YouTube, watch it. It's me talking to myself for usually around 15 to 20 minutes as Football Manager's going on, trying to express my feelings about this game that I've played way too much of. Besides from that, let's see what else I've got installed on my computer that I've been playing. Final Fantasy VII Remake. We'll talk about that later. I'm just leaving that as is, because I don't want to spoil a remake of a game that's over 20 years old.
But the remake is different.
Is different.
You can find that anywhere. It is different.
In a good way. This game will not. I will let you know. There's no recordings, no streams of this game, because it is literally mine. It is my nostalgia wheelhouse. Right. This is where this game is, and I'm just going to enjoy this one for me. Okay, everybody. This one, I've given you Football Manager. I've given the one game that I was able to play and have joy in my life with. I'm giving you that. I have no other saves but this one. Final Fantasy is mine. And that's going in that little corner, and I'm being happy with that. Other games I've played, City Skylines.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's a chill game that I can build a city in. You just go in and it's just build the city, make sure all the boxes are checked. TGWPISville's nice. I have the highway comes in, and then I have an industrial and commercial area with a small residential zone, and the highway continues over a river where there's the main residential area, and I'm just kind of building it up. Don't know if I'm going to specialize in anything yet, or if I'm just going to have a nice little quaint suburbia. Just City Skylines, relaxing. I've played some Motorsport Manager because, I like manager games apparently.
Gee, you think?
And I'm playing a new career, and the thing is, all right, Motorsport Manager's new career doesn't get good until you finish the first season.
Right.
And let me tell you why. Because you play through, you start with the worst team, right? The worst okay drivers, depending on which starting thing. I chose the one with a decent car chassis, and then you start with no equipment, no real good staff, and you have to go there. So it's kind of playing on a budget. So it's what is your plan? So they asked okay, what is your plan for your team? I'm going to finish in 10th out of 10 teams. So I'm planning on being the worst team on the track. Yeah. But after watching some people play this and learning some guides, what you do is for the first year is you develop your parts, because whatever part you have installed on your cars at the end of the first season becomes the basis for your car in the second season.
Hmm.
So essentially, you just design the most illegal, broken shit that would get you kicked off the grid in year 1, but that shit's not illegal when year 2 starts because it's your baseline. So all of a sudden you have brakes. Then instead of like have a performance of 5, have a performance of 200, and then like provide you all these other bonuses. So that's good. So that's how you do it. So you run on a budget, you just develop. And what gets interesting is when you hit the first off season, all the drivers' contracts come up. You have to design your new chassis for your car, figure out what that kind of stuff. The management really kicks in. You're able to upgrade your facilities, and you really kind of have to make tough decisions. And then it fully becomes yours going into year 2. So it really is a long burn of a game, where it's like you really have to think financially. And then your sponsorships. Where do we take sponsors? Can we meet these goals? Does the chairman want us to start finishing in 9th now or 8th? What are we building towards? And then obviously if you get in first place, then you get promoted to tier 2 and then eventually tier 3. So season 1 is just kind of about just like, okay, just you're gonna suck. Just suck. Try not to bleed out and go bankrupt as you're just developing just ridiculous parts. One thing I am pushing for is that they have a vote. And what's nice about, and I'm speaking gibberish to most of you right now, but Will is understanding this word for word. They have stock parts, so the front and rear wings are stock. Those are issued by them. We can't change that. We had a vote come up, and it passed that we have a stock engine next year. So I don't have to develop an engine.
Money saving idea.
Oh, it is great.
Budget cap.
Yeah, so it's like nobody has to like. I'm sitting there going like, that's what. Check that off the list. Don't need to spend any money on that. So I'm developing brakes, gearboxes, suspensions, all that other kind of stuff. And then just finding the cheapest drivers that have the most potential, and then buying them. So that's Motorsport Manager in a nutshell.
Broadbent.
Lewis Hamilton.
And then you got, what's the one piece of advice you give both you drivers before they go out for a race? You just say it in 3 words. Please. No punterino.
Don't. We had one of my guys crash.
Right.
Crash. He ended up in 17th. It was a bad race on my part. Rain came on for like the last 5 laps, but that never got so wet. See, I pitted and I put my guys on wets.
Yeah.
But it never got too wet for wets. So there was a wet enough for intermediates, but not wets. Yeah. So I just lost all the speed because I was on full wets. And then one guy crashed it. And then he came to me, he's like, I'm really sorry, boss. And I fired him. I broke his contract. I said, you're fucking done. He finished in last place 3 times, and then he crashed the car. And it cost me $1 million to fix the car. So I was like, you're done. Bye. Because I brought the reserve driver up and I promoted the other driver to the first one to being prime driver, and then I have as a backup. And because now he's just like, okay, I'm the second driver. I don't expect to win anything. I said, damn right you are. Damn right you are. Fuck that other guy. So besides all those games, I'll quickly list off the other ones. Darkest Dungeon, because it's something I can play for 20 minutes and then walk away from. Right. Elder Scrolls, because I actually need to beat that game. Because everybody needs a little bit of Sky. What is the best way to kill time in a pandemic? Skyrim.
So much time burn.
So much time burn in Skyrim.
It's kind of enormous time burn.
It's kind of enormous time burn. And this is vanilla, too. No mods. Vanilla Skyrim.
I still have this issue with Skyrim.
Yep.
Where one of the mods is haunting my game. I tried booting it up a little while back. Still there. I can't play Skyrim anymore.
So you can't play regular Skyrim.
Special edition.
You can't play fucking hell.
Either one. I don't know what it is, but every time I load up a game, there's a single Draugr that follows me. Very slowly, walking, and if I get too close, my game crashes.
Don't worry, it just works. It just works. Thank you, Todd Howard. Thank you for that. And then finally, for a little bit of a project I'm working on that Will knows about, I will let you know the one game I've been playing that involves that project, and that's Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 5. More to come on that later. Also, Anno 2205, because management game.
Well, you just have it. It's just
I used to play first-person shooters and action games. I don't know how or why I do this to myself, and now I'm playing all these management games.
You're getting old, mate. That's the thing. You're trying to slow down.
Then I play Motorsport Manager, but then again, I'm not. It's like talk to your team before they go out there. Okay, guys, you gotta go fast,
But not too fast. Because if you go too fast, break something.
You gotta go fast, but don't break the car.
Yeah, it actually might be a game I would have really liked.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5. I have complex emotions and feelings about that game. But there may be a series that I'm working on with somebody else that is us breaking down. Basically, we'll talk about this. The thesis of this entire thing that we're working on is called "Is Metal Gear Solid 5 Good?" And to do this, we basically have broken it down, and let me grab my this is what we had. I've actually gone and done an MLA outline. How many people have heard that one in a while? I made a fucking MLA outline to figure out why, if I think this. So there are 3 topics in this thing with various subtopics. And the introduction, and I will read you the introduction about this. It says, Introduction. Ultimately, the question is, why do this? I've had a long, complicated relationship with the Metal Gear Solid series, especially Phantom Pain. And now that we're 5 years out from the game's release and Death Stranding now out to the public, it seems like a good time to look at, is Metal Gear Solid 5 actually a bad game, caused by both failures of the studio that wanted to milk a franchise one last time and a director who was long past caring about the series? Or is it an underappreciated classic that has more going for it than we realized? That's the thesis. The 3 topics are, with their subtopics, a brief history of the series. To discuss Metal Gear Solid 5, we have to look at all of the Metal Gear series as a whole. We have to look at Metal Gear Solid 5, the game. The physical game is in the gameplay itself, and then the story itself. And then section 3 is conspiracies and headcanon, which is Kojima versus Konami. Kojima, is he a master, a madman, or both? So Kojima the man, and then Venom Snake, and then the conclusion. That is coming soon to you guys from TGWPIS, is this Metal Gear Solid 5. And then what's interesting is because the guy I'm working with it is a friend of mine for a long period of time, and we've had hours upon hours of discussion about this game. We don't know the answer yet. We're hoping to find it by the end. Then when that's done, by the time that's done, he's probably going to start and have played through Death Stranding. So we get to do that again, but with Death Stranding. So more of a long-form kind of essay thing coming from us. Hard-hitting journalism from TGWPIS. Since we aired out today, like how me and Chris are really looking for an MMO, like kind of got that off our chests and like really kind of aired that grievance. This is like one that has been building since Metal Gear Solid 3. Back in early 2000. I have complex emotions and feelings about these series. I also have a cardboard cutout of Hideo Kojima in my room. So, we know where I stand on him.
On a large soapbox is what you stand.
Yeah, like this is like a James's soapbox taken to the point where like I had to divorce myself from the rest of the TGWPIS group, get myself in my own little padded room with my buddy who knows about this, and we need to like hash it out for a little while. We'll occasionally come and be like, want a cup of tea?
Are you all comrades? Would you like a Twinkie?
Meanwhile, like you open the door and it's the meme from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where like Charlie's pointing at like the Escher painting of like all the lines pointing stuff together. It's like, I think it finally figured it out. Lale Lude Lo means Eva, which is Hideo Kojima's complex relationship with his mother, and ultimately comes back to the Muppets movie. Fuck. That's where we're at. This is where we're at. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom game. No, the Phantom Pain is what I feel when I play this game, which is actually something we do talk about. Does Phantom Pain mean the Phantom Pain that the character feels? That you as the player are supposed to feel because it's a shit game? Like, is that intentional? Like, we go that deep into like, was it shit because Hideo Kojima wanted you to feel like shit? Did he intentionally do that? Was it intentional? Are we reading too much into this, or was just everybody fucking inept? Once again, complex feelings that I'm going to hash out over an audio series, which I don't know. I mean, Will has heard a bit of it. We had a dry run. It goes places.
It does it. It feels a different tone to what we've normally done.
Yeah, it's more serious, I guess would be the way it is. It's interesting and it's funny, but it's also it's once again it's serious in the sense that we want to figure out what fucked up and where, and is it even fucked up. Also, you'll also figure out that like my favorite Metal Gear Solid game of all time is Metal Gear Solid 4. It is a classic. It is the best of the series. At me.
Please take out like about 4 hours worth of cutscenes, and I'll go, yeah, I agree. The eggs. Cooking the eggs. Why the eggs? Why? I mean, is it a metaphor from a few years ago telling me to use the eggs?
Once again, why does Kojima do it? Is it a metaphor? Is it him just being like, I don't fucking care? And everybody, do you know why Metal Gear Solid 4 is the best game in the series? I'll tell you. It's like Skyfall for James Bond. It is Metal Gear for Metal Gear's sake. Hideo Kojima takes all of his crazy plot lines, ties it into one nice little bow, and goes, here you fucking go. Also, Snake is an old man with a fucking Burt Reynolds mustache.
Yeah, he looks at it and went, yeah, like fucking Burt Reynolds and shit.
Metal Gear.
It was a Metal Gear.
Otacon.
You always did that very well. I like it. It's an Otacon. So,
Crab battle.
He's got giant pincing hands at this cave demon.
Catch some sort of cave demon. That's a Kenyan mangrove crab.
It's Doom Guy.
It broke my knife. That's literally impossible.
It's just the crab battle.
Crab battle. Crab battle.
Crab battle. If you haven't seen Crab Battle, another TGWPIS in 10 that we're going to be doing anyways, but a great Flash animation. 10 out of 10 would highly recommend to anybody. Crab Battle is very much an essence of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, I just remember the Arnie one. Remember the Arnie one? I cannot do it. It's, every time, every little bit of Arnie just there, no matter what film.
I cannot do it. Welcome
Right.
to TGWPIS. We have devolved the podcast into speaking in very bad accents. This is like a French Arnold. I do not know. I do not care. Very bad, by the way. I realized this, but it was for a comedy bit.
What part of the UK was that from?
It wasn't. Brittany?
I
I know my history. Come on. Just because I'm bad
So-
with accents doesn't mean I'm bad with European geography.
Damn it.
100 Years War. Look it up.
So, I think with that's what we've been playing. Might as well move on to shout outs and pimp outs.
Yes.
So, I think chat is going to be one of the biggest shout outs for me today. Also, next week, I might as well do the shout out, is episode 200 of the Sunday Service of Latter-day Dudes. It is the 12 hours. It is crap for crones. I have sent Chris and James the list of crap games that I will be getting through some of at least. I think you can agree that there's some of them are utter garbage in there.
But see, the thing is, I know you're gonna be pushing really hard to get through all these games as fast as possible, but you also have to realize you don't want to push too hard because then you may get stuck, and then it just may be just a painful experience for everybody involved.
Yeah. Oh, these are not going to be a case of I'll complete them and move on. This is going to be a case of I will get to the point where I'm either bored or game breaks if I can't complete them, and then we just go, oh, well, we've had enough of that. Let's move on to another one. Because it's 12 hours, so there's about 20 odd games there that I could choose from. Just got to make sure they all work on stream. So that's the big thing. So that's next week. Please, if you can donate to the Crohn's and Colitis charity, please do. They're very busy at the moment, helping a lot of us out, especially because of now of us being high risk. So that's my shout out and pimp out. You guys got any?
Yes. Tonight, on this channel, 7 p.m., A New World, D&D, as run by yours truly. And obviously starring one of our players is Chris and all of our D&D group.
Yes, of course.
I am not remotely prepared for any of this in any way, shape, or form. I don't know how to run anything in Roll20. It is going to be ad hoc as fuck, like most of my D&D campaigns.
That's okay.
I have a map, and it's on Roll20.
Uh-huh.
And I have encounters built. That's about as far as I got. So, if you guys are excited for D&D and you want to watch some D&D, we are going to be playing D&D. Chat, you're welcome to be there. I am going to tell you I will be ignoring the shit out of anything that anybody's saying. Mainly because I have to DM for 6 other people. That's about like the level of like multitasking I can handle, is trying to understand what 6 other people want to do interdependently of each other in a world that I'm created and am trying to tell a story in, while all of them try to enact their will upon that story. Like, that's about the level of concentration I have. 6 tabs open in the brain at once. And multiple on the computer.
Just think of it as a spreadsheet. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I do also want to mention
GM
Tracker 57.
DM Manager 2020.
Yeah. That's the first patch, isn't it? DM Manager 2.7.
No, it's just Dungeon Master Manager 2020. So it's not you managing a D&D game, it's you managing the people's schedule to play a D&D game.
It's like symmetric top down in a group.
Wizard, get on that. There's a niche market here.
It's like a DLC or offshoot from game dev management. But yeah, Tracker 57, I want to give a good shout out to, because last week he was doing a 6-hour run for his 2-year anniversary on Twitch, and he was also, as part of Team TigWhip, and he raised 250 pounds. So we are £450 at the moment to target, which is pretty damn awesome. So thank you very much, dude. Have you got any shout outs or pimp outs, Chris?
Nope.
Then I guess we're done.
Chat. Shout out to chat.
Chat.
We will. Me and Chris will see you guys in roughly about 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
I might appear briefly, just for shout out. It's midnight. I go to bed now. Bye.
Yeah, we don't. Like I said, it's very ad hoc. I would normally release it as a podcast, but because it's gonna be just recording it anyways, might as well just stream it on Twitch, because why the fuck not? Doesn't hurt anything. Yeah, so that's it. This has been fun. Welcome back. It's one of our longer ones. I'm gonna go play some Final Fantasy VII Remake. I got the need.
The need for doing whatever.
Tifa's best girl. Fight me.
They do.
We'll end it on that. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Did I press the right button? No, didn't press the right button. That's
Against
the opening.
all
Doom guy.
Bye.
There we go. There's the ending
Bye,
one.
Doom guy.
Bye, Doom guy. He's the Doom guy.
Doom guy.
Doom guy. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Remember